Welcome back to Every Tom, Prick and Harry.
I'm Hannah.
And I'm Rebekah.
Rebekah is a journalism student and she's been tasked with a mobile journalism assignment.
I thought instead of creating a mock platform for my piece, why not use the platform that I already have?
So for today's topic, we're going to be talking about something that isn't spoken about enough.
Periods. Today I will be interviewing my co-host Hannah, who runs period poverty relief initiatives focused on distributing menstrual cups to women and girls in need of sanitary products. She works with schools and shelters all around Cape Town. Hannah, please can you tell us a little bit more about period poverty?
Sure. Period poverty is a seriously underestimated issue globally. Period poverty is a term that defines the lack of access to menstrual products, safe sanitation facilities, and menstrual education. This results in millions of girls missing school or work around the world. Many girls and women who can't afford sanitary towels are also using unhygienic alternatives such as old cloths, old rags, and even old socks. Period poverty also considers the deep social stigma and taboo we still seem to attach to menstruation. Period poverty affects millions of women and girls in South Africa, with up to 7 million unable to afford basic sanitary products. Because they lack access to safe menstrual hygiene, an estimated 1 in 3 girls misses up to 60 days of school annually, profoundly impacting educational opportunities and, of course, gender equality.
Sure, okay, that's quite shocking statistics. Can you please tell us a little bit more about why you focus on menstrual cups for your initiatives?
Sure. So a bit of a backstory here, but 7 years ago I was in matric and I calculated my family's carbon footprint for a research project at school. I decided to use a menstrual cup in line with my greener intentions. I was calculating my carbon footprint, and this cup changed my life, and it had me thinking about ways in which this reusable sanitary product could make a bigger difference. All girls and women have to navigate periods and the cost of periods for a great portion of our lifetimes. I'm in a privileged position where I have access to sanitary products. Can you imagine how a woman or girl without access to sanitary towels could benefit from a reusable sanitary product? Menstrual cups are reusable sanitary products and they can last up to 5 to 10 years. So when I was in first year at university, I started these drives and crowdfunded money to buy menstrual cups for groups of grade 11 and matric girls. I found the MENA Foundation, an NGO dedicated to eradicating period poverty with MENA cups. They trained me to facilitate workshops so that during handovers, I can also explain to everyone how the cups work and provide some cup education. So these cups can seem very scary at first, especially if you haven't seen one or you haven't used one.
Absolutely.
These period poverty relief initiatives, more than anything else, are about dignity. A menstrual cup provides a reusable, safe, and sustainable alternative to manage periods with dignity. In terms of maintaining dignity, the privacy of the girls and women receiving these cups is also protected. Very few photographs are taken. No poverty porn around here.
Absolutely, and I think that that's really a concept that a lot of people don't take into account or don't understand fully. So let's also chat about the cost of sanitary towels.
So in South Africa, sanitary products are not free, and I think value-added tax was removed from sanitary towels in South Africa on the 1st of April 2019.
But obviously, despite this, sanitary towels are expensive. Okay, now let's have a look at cost. A single pack of pads costs approximately 33 Rand, and if we have a look at a value pack, it costs 65 Rand. Then we have tampons. Your regular pack of tampons, one box, costs you 35 Rand in comparison to a value pack which is around 62 Rand. Let's remember that there's also women and girls out there with a much heavier flow, so they will use much more than just a regular pack of pads or a box of tampons in the course of their cycle. So if we were to have a look in comparison, we have menstrual cups over here which retail for 165 Rand.
So let's do some rough maths. A woman has an average of 400 to 500 periods in her lifetime. So let's just take 500. 500 periods times 36 rand for a box of tampons equates to 18,000 rand. 500 periods times 30 rand for a packet of pads equates to 15,000 rand. We can assume these amounts will likely be more. One cup lasts between 5 and 10 years, saving you the cost of sanitary towels for almost a decade of your life. You never have to miss school or work, and you can carry on with your life and responsibilities whilst navigating this very natural part of womanhood with dignity. Side note, I actually survived a whole river rafting, fly fishing, camping adventure trip on my period using a cup. You can literally do anything wearing it.
I agree. And as you can imagine, this is much better for the environment too.
Guess how long it takes for one pad or one tampon to decompose in a landfill?
I know, but tell us.
One pad or one tampon takes between 500 and 800 years to decompose in a landfill.
So it's definitely greener and more sustainable. I think that sustainability can be used as a bit of a buzzword sometimes. So for those of us who don't know what sustainability means, it is defined as the ability to meet the present needs without compromising the capacity of future generations to meet their own. So can you please show us a menstrual cup and explain a little bit about how it works?
Sure. Okay, so here is a cup. Don't worry guys, this is a brand new cup, straight out of the packaging. I use this for my demonstrations for when I do my demonstration cup. It's my demonstration cup for when I do my workshops. Okay, so this is a brand new cup. It's a Mina cup, straight out of the box. So these cups, they're quite small. Let's just hold it to the camera.
Hopefully it's in focus for them.
I think it will be. But as you can see, they're quite small. So this cup is made of medical grade silicone. So they're safe to use and there's way less risk of toxic shock syndrome.
Which is obviously a huge concern for women out there.
As well. Exactly.
Yeah,
there's the toxic shock syndrome.
Yeah.
Risk that comes with tampons, and obviously this is also an insertable sanitary product. But there's way less risk of toxic shock syndrome using one of these as opposed to using a tampon. So you literally put your cup in for the day, you do what you need to do, and then you can come home later and take it out and change it in the comfort of your own space. It works like a plug.
Not necessarily on day 2, you might have to change it once or twice, but it really does work.
It's like a plug. So there's little suction holes on the sides here, just to make sure that it stays in. And then there's different folds. So in terms of inserting this, Mina does give a little instruction guide in their boxes about how to insert it. But there's different folds, as like you choose which fold you want to use. There's like a C fold like this, or a little diamond fold as well. But there's different folds. Everybody has a different way of using their cups and inserting them.
That being said, the first time using a cup is really weird.
It is really weird. I really struggled at the beginning, and I wasn't 100% sure. But I persisted, and now I will never look back. I think this is the most magical invention for women. And it's also clean very easily. You just pop it in a container or even a mug of boiling water straight from the kettle, and you just let it sit for a good couple of minutes just to sterilize it. You also only need to sterilize it at the beginning and the end of your cycle. You don't have to do it every single time you need to change your cup during your period. And when you empty it and change it, because it's medical grade silicone, you only need to just rinse it with a little bit of water or wipe it between changes. No soap is needed to clean them.
I remember I used a tampon on my first cycle and then a cup from there on out. It is absolutely life-changing. But now, obviously, we are speaking about water and hygiene altogether. So you have received quite a bit of backlash from people about water concerns. I remember that in the past, some people have said that you can't give cups to women or girls who don't have easy access to running water. How true is this?
So yes, that is true to some extent. The girls and women who need these products are often living in conditions where they don't have access to hygienic sanitation facilities or running water. However, I think that it is a bit narrow-minded to assume that women and girls in these circumstances just don't have water. If you actually take the time and effort to see and understand how women function in these conditions and circumstances, they are incredibly resourceful. I think it's narrow-minded, and I think it strips the agency away from the real people living in these real conditions. In one of my research articles that I did for a journalism course when I was a student, I considered this an extra layer to period poverty that we don't talk about enough. The menstruating women are often also those who carry the responsibility of fetching clean water and bringing it back to their homes.
Absolutely.
All a cup needs to be cleaned is the same amount of water you'd use to boil for a cup of tea.
Excellent. Now, have you ever received any other concerns around cups?
Yes. These cups, as you can see, are insertable, and of course there are many cultural and religious concerns attached to virginity and insertable sanitary products. It's the biggest obstacle that I face when it comes to workshops and education around cups. I try my best to explain that virginity is a social construct, and the fear young girls face is linked to the shame and taboo we still seem to attach to periods, a very natural thing that every woman goes through. It's tricky, but I try to remind everyone with concerns around cups, because of the virginity stigma, that this initiative and cups is about empowerment. Keeping girls in school means more girls with education, more girls with degrees, more women taking up space in science and maths and finance and theatre and film. The list goes on, more women taking up more space in every room. And it all starts with education, and it starts in school. Girls can do anything boys can do, even on their periods.
Exactly. So let's keep our girls in school.
Period.
Okay, we also need to remember the value of education, especially in a country with a history like ours. Nelson Mandela viewed education as the ultimate equalizer and as a vital tool for social justice. He said it's, and I quote, "the most powerful weapon which we can use to change the world. It's the key to unlocking human potential, dismantling prejudice, and empowering the youth to break generational cycles of poverty."
Exactly. Each generation opens a door for the next.
Exactly. Well, that's that for today.
And remember,
Don't be a prick.